Are you ready to fight like a champion, not just in the courtroom, but in every facet of your life? Welcome to the Legal Athlete Podcast. I'm Jess Sargus, your host, high-performance speaker, and coach for trial lawyers. With over 22 years as a trial attorney and legal exec, and an undefeated record as a former MMA fighter and boxer, I know what it takes to thrive in high-stakes environments. I also know that in both the courtroom and the cage, you're only as good as your wins. That's why I'm here to help you develop a fighter's mindset, discipline, and strategies so you can master your mental game and execute under pressure to win more and burn out less. Every week, I fuse insights from elite athletics, legal pros, and cutting-edge neuroscience and sports psychology to help you perform at your peak under pressure. So whether you're looking to reinvent your practice, your mindset, or your life, this is the podcast for you. It's time to become a legal athlete. Let's get it. Welcome back to the Legal Athlete Podcast. I'm Jess Sargus, your no BS high performance coach, bringing you the best of neuroscience, sports psychology, and mental resilience so you can dominate in the courtroom, the boardroom, and in life. So, what's up for today's podcast? The Ides of March are upon us, and I'm feeling spicy. So we're going to tackle one of the biggest boogeymen around there today. We're going to talk about comparison. Comparison is one of the biggest silent killers of motivation, focus, and your competitive edge. You know that moment when you see someone crushing it, just winning a big case or a big verdict, speaking on stage, or showing up like a boss, and instead of getting inspired, you feel small, less than. We're going to burn that down today. Comparison isn't just an annoying habit. It's actively stealing your energy, sabotaging your performance, and immobilizing you from stepping into your own greatness. So today we're going to break down what's happening in your brain when you compare, why it feels like a mental gut punch, and most importantly, what to do instead. Let's get it. First, let's get into the neuroscience. When you compare yourself to someone, your brain isn't just casually observing. It's running a full-blown emotional assessment. Here's what's happening. First, your brain's reward system is keeping score. The ventral striatum evaluates success and failure by comparison. So if you perceive someone as ahead of you, your dopamine levels drop, making you less motivated and also feel a little bit like a sad, deflated balloon. No one wants that. On top of that ventral striatum, you've got your default mode network, the DMN, which is over-analyzing everything. This is the part of your brain that loves to dwell on self-worth. So when you compare, the DMN activates and starts playing a highlight reel of why you're not enough. Sounds super productive, right? The other parts, social pain, is actually processed like real pain in your brain. Your anterior cingulate cortex, your ACC, is what processes emotional pain, and it's the same exact way that it processes physical pain. That punch to the gut that you feel when you see someone excelling in some way that you want to be, that's your brain interpreting social comparison as a threat, as a physical feeling. And then finally, we've got cortisol. Chronic comparison triggers your stress response, releasing cortisol, that stress hormone, and making you anxious, reactive, and exhausted. This is where your focus and motivation really take a nosedive. The bottom line, comparison isn't just harmless. It is actively rewiring your brain to stress and spiral and stagnate. We are not about that life. But let's also understand what's happening when you engage in this kind of counterproductive comparison from a performance and a sports psychology perspective as well. So this is how comparison kills your edge. Athletes, lawyers, and high performers all have one thing in common. We thrive when we're locked into our own game. And here's why comparison is the enemy of high performance. First, it's pulling your focus to the uncontrollables. You can't control someone else's success, experience, or talents, but comparison tricks you into obsessing over things outside of your control instead of executing your own strategy. It also takes you out of the present moment, that present moment focus that is so vital to your own performance to win. So whether in sports or in law, you know you have to be present to be successful. But comparison yanks you into hypotheticals, yanks you out of that present moment. What if they're better than me? Why aren't I as successful yet? Where did I go wrong in my life? It is mental quicksand. It also destroys your confidence. High performers build confidence through repetition and preparation and mastery. But when you compare, you're outsourcing confidence to someone else's scoreboard. And that is a fast track to imposter syndrome and derailing all the progress that you've already made. It also triggers some emotional hijacking. When you feel behind, the brain switches into survival mode, triggering more reactive decisions, rushed actions, and second guessing. Instead of executing on your preparation like a pro, you start flailing. Finally, it shifts you from process-oriented to outcome-fixated. The best athletes and lawyers win because they focus on their process, not the outcome. Whereas comparison is fixating you on external outcomes, titles, accolades, follower counts, rather than the grind, the preparation, the daily work that actually gets you there. The result, you're losing your edge, and worse, you lose the joy of competing, of growing and improving every day. But we don't leave problems unsolved here. Let's move to solutions. Here's how you flip the script and use comparison as fuel instead. Here's the truth. Comparison isn't always bad if you know how to reframe it. So here's how to use it as a tool instead of a mental trap. First, recognize admiration for what it is. When you feel triggered by someone's success, pause. Think about it. Is this really envy or jealousy, or is it deep down admiration for what they're doing, who they're being? If you admire someone, it means you see qualities that you value. That is high speed, great intel for you and your own guidance. So that's number one. Think about it not just from what you don't have, but what you want. What is helping you figure out where you want to spend your focus and what results you want to achieve through your daily actions. Second way to flip the script, remember what makes you unique. No one else has your exact experiences, insights, or skills. You're not in their lane, you're in yours. So instead of getting bitter or focusing on them, get better at owning your edge, your unique superpowers, your unique experience that makes everything that you do your own. So with that in mind, next, flip from sad inaction to empowered action. Instead of letting comparison shut you down, turn it into a challenge. If they can do it, what's stopping me? Redirect that energy into refining your skills, sharpening your strategy, and taking bold steps forward that you know you need to make to accomplish your goals. Finally, use their success as a blueprint, not a roadblock. Instead of spiraling, study. What did they do to get where they are? What habits, mindset shifts, or strategies can you apply to your own game? And then take action. Get out of your own way and start building what you want to build. It doesn't help you to be pause, immobilize, studying someone else without taking action and doing what you need to do to move yourself forward. Last final note here. Celebrating others is not going to kill you. One of the greatest tips that I use when I find myself getting into comparison mode, and when I help clients with this all the time, is use a mental trigger that can get you back on that right path. One of my favorite ones, I'm working particularly with women clients and they see another woman who is excelling and they're starting to feel like they're going down that comparison spiral. I tell them, give them a snap. You go, girl. You go, girl. Tell them, you go, girl. Be admiring of what they've got that you wish you had. And then take action to go get it for yourself. Get out of that mode of thinking that it's pie here and that what they've got means that you have less of your own. It's not pie. Everyone can grab their own success. You can grab your own unique success. Just take action towards it and appreciate what you admire in others. You're just going to add to the positivity there and keep yourself motivated with good company on your journey to success. Okay, so let's wrap it up. We don't just talk theory here, we take action. So here's how to put this into practice starting today. Number 1, control the controllables. Write down 3 things that are in your control: your effort, your mindset, and your preparation. Those are top 3. And commit to them daily. When comparison creeps in, redirect your focus to these things, what's in your control each day that is your pathway to success. Number 2, reframe in real time. When you catch yourself comparing, pause and ask, what am I admiring about this? What can I learn from this? Instead of shrinking, shift into strategy mode. And you can use one of those trigger words. You can do snap, you go girl. You can do a clap. You're like, all right, dude. Admire rather than start turning inward. Now, number 3, stay present. Now, how you do this, you build and practice your mindfulness habits. Even 2 minutes of deep breathing before a high stakes moment, or if you find yourself going down this comparison spiral, can help keep you grounded in your process. Keep your eyes on your own paper. And so having that practice where you know what it takes to refocus, whether it's your breathing exercise, your physiological sigh, you can even use your what's important now method of, all right, I found myself getting off track, getting unfocused on what someone else is doing. What's important now? And what's important now is what actions are you going to take? What can you learn from admiring that other person's success? Number 4, celebrate your wins, big and small. Take note of your daily progress. Dopamine loves momentum, so tracking your wins is going to build that internal validation. That's what it's all about. Finally, curate your inputs. Pay attention to what you are consuming, what you are feeding your brain. And if you find that social media fuels comparison spirals, clean up your feed, okay? Or take a break. Follow people who inspire you to action, not insecurity. Follow something that feeds you and gives you fuel and gives you strategies in order to take the action that you know you need to take. Okay, so let's summarize one more time. Here are our action steps to kill comparison for good. Number 1, control the controllables. 2, when you catch yourself in a comparison spiral, reframe in real time. Use your trigger word and action to refocus, or the win method to get yourself back to your next best action. Number 3, stay present. Build that habit. Understand when you're losing focus and snap yourself back. Number 4, celebrate your wins, big and small. And number 5, curate your inputs. Be mindful of what you're feeding your mind, what you're feeding your soul. All right, legal athletes, that is a wrap on this episode. Remember, comparison is the silent killer of focus, motivation, and confidence, but only if you let it be. When you shift your mindset, take ownership, and use it as fuel for taking action instead of a roadblock, you take back your power. You put yourself back on that path to success. So next time you catch yourself scrolling or side-eyeing or sighing and slipping into a comparison spiral, remember, you are not behind. You're on your own damn path. Now go out there and make it unstoppable. And remember, comparison is a thief, but you don't have to let it rob you. Flip the script. Admire, don't envy. Focus, don't spiral. Act, don't wallow. The only competition that truly matters is the one between who you were yesterday and who you're becoming today. So go out there, lock in on your mission, and channel every ounce of energy into building your success, not watching someone else's highlight reel. Stay sharp, stay relentless, and as always, legal athletes, keep playing to win. Thank you for joining me on the Legal Athlete Podcast. If you're ready to take your mental game to the next level, let's connect. Want me to speak to your group or team? Or are you ready for one-on-one trial fight camp coaching to perform at your best when it matters most? Reach out to me with a direct message on LinkedIn or through my website at thelegalathlete.com. Until next time, remember that the best version of yourself isn't some future version. It's the you who makes your daily choices. So make great ones. Make the ones that keep you on that champion fighter journey, building a record and a life you love.